Hey everyone, so I am going to show you how to apply a smoky eyeshadow today and just kind of the steps you want to follow. Now, I usually do my eyeshadow first before my face, just as an FYI, just because it's a lot easier if you have fallout, especially underneath here and all the things. But let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be using these colors here, very Valentine's-y, all the pinks. And so when applying any eyeshadows that you're using, I am using Saints eyeshadows. I love them. They all come in singles, so you get to choose exactly what colors that you want. You pretty much get to make your own palette, so you don't have to waste your money on pre-made palettes. You only get a couple colors that you're actually going to use. At least I'm guilty of that before I found Saint. But anyway, so with using any eyeshadows though, you always want to use a really good eyeshadow primer. This will help the longevity of your eyeshadows, help with the pigmentation. I am using Too Faced Eyeshadow Insurance. It's 24 hours of anti-crease eyeshadow primer. This one personally has been my favorite. But anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit on here. And I'm just going to use a tiny amount, and I use my ring finger to apply any primer just because it's your weakest finger, so it helps prevent from pulling on the eye too much, which can cause premature wrinkling, which I don't think anybody really wants. All right, so that's on. It's already dry, ready to go. So, sorry, that is my son. All right, and then here are the two eyeshadow brushes I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using the eyeshadow brush and the smudge brush by Saint. They are such great brushes. I love them. Honestly, all the Saint brushes are good. So first thing I like to do is I like to start off with the lightest color. I'm going to do that in my crease. So let me just use this nice fluffy end. A nice fluffy end brush will help you blend colors really easy and whatnot. So I'm going to do the crease. The crease is this structure, like this bone that's above your eyeball. So if you feel your lid and you feel your eyeball, that is your lid. That is not your crease. So you're kind of just going to do like a windshield wiper motion. All right. And make sure it goes from the beginning of your brow to the end of your brow. So just kind of follow that. And so I'm just going to go nice and slow for you guys to see how to apply this. Okay, let me just do the other side and I'll teach you another trick. Another trick too that's really helpful is lift your brows up, especially if you have like more mature eyes, like, or if you have hooded eyes. So like the skin kind of droops a little bit. It's not really tight. So lift your brows. And then you can either like have a mirror and kind of look at a downward angle, go like this, kind of like relax your lids though, and do that. And it makes it a lot easier for blending your colors, and moving them around. And then you can always pick up more. I always start off light and then add more and more depending on what I'm wanting. The current color that I am using is called Paris. It's a really fun pop of pink. I love it. All right, and now I'm going to move on to this color called Claire. And I like to usually mix one or two colors in the crease area. You don't have to do it, but it's just a personal preference of mine. So I'm just going to do the same thing, and I'm just going to put this color just slightly lower in Paris, and I'm just going to kind of do like a rainbow. Okay, but isn't this color so stinking pretty? I love this color. And so you're just going to want to do windshield wiper motions, make sure the colors are all blended. Make sure you're always blending upward, not downward, or else you're going to have all the color go down and then like towards your lid instead of going up, and then you're going to miss all that pretty color. Okay, now this is a huge tip. When you're doing a smoky eye or any corner color, you always want to do the corner color before doing your lid. It makes it so much easier. The pigmentation shows up a lot better. It's easier to blend. Just from experience, it just makes it a whole lot easier. So I am going to move on to using the smudge brush. I like using this nice rounded side. It is so soft. And I'm going to use this color here called Cranberry, I believe. I'm just going to pick up some, okay? And I'm going to put this corner color right here, kind of create like a sideways V going like this. Okay, and also a trick to hold your brush, instead of hold your brush up close like this, hold it further back. You'll actually have a lot more control of how much pressure you want to put when you're doing your eyeshadow compared to having it up close. Because when you think about it, when you're holding like a pencil and things, you're holding it this close so you can really do like really tight detailing, which we're not doing, and it makes it just kind of difficult. But if you hold it further back, kind of like when people are painting, they want like a lighter hand, it's a lot easier to do that. You want a more of a lighter hand when applying your eyeshadow. And so see, I'm just kind of moving around the product and whatnot. So hopefully these are helpful tips for you guys for applying your eyeshadow. But there we go. See, I'm just kind of creating that V shape, and I'm putting that upper V part like just on the bone right here. See how it's kind of hugging it a little bit? I don't know if you can tell. Okay. But anyway, so I'm just going to take my time, make sure it's the real trick to having your eyeshadow look good is make sure you blend it. So if you have any issues though with blending your corner, I would suggest, see how like I make a mess over here? This is why I do my eyeshadow first and not my face. I usually go back to one of my lighter shades, so one of these, and then I'll go back with my fluffy brush and then just kind of blend it if I'm having issues with my color not wanting to blend. But I don't pick up a lot, I just pick up a tiny bit, and it will just help it blend a whole lot better. Now with your lid color, I personally like to use my finger to apply just because I really like that big pop and pigmentation. But if you want a little bit lighter, you can certainly use like a brush. I'll show you on one side what it's like to use the smudge brush with the flat end, and I'm going to be using this color called Sis. She's so pretty. Just so you can really see the difference between the pigmentation based off of the brush that you use, okay? So here is Sis with just a brush, all right? Still really pretty. It's a little bit lighter, but if you want that really big pop, I'm going to use my finger, and I'm just going to lightly tap and press the color onto my lid. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see a difference. It's kind of hard to tell. Let me add, I'm just going to add a smidgen more just so you guys can really see the pop difference. Okay. But look at the difference. See how it's a little bit more of a pop of a shimmer compared to this one's like still has shimmer, but it's definitely more subtle. So I'm just going to correct that real quick. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to my illuminator, okay? And I'm going to use the small end of my eyeshadow brush, just pick up a tiny bit, and I'm going to put a little bit of illuminator here underneath my brow. You always want to do the brow part last, because if you do it first, it's just going to get all blended with your crease color, and yeah, it's almost pointless. Okay, and then I'm also going to put a little bit of this color called Georgia here on the inside, like the tear duct of my eyes. You don't have to do this part. I just really like to do it because it gives like a nice pop. Last thing I'm going to do is I am just going to take a little bit of this darker color, and I'm going to put her right here just in the corner. I don't want to go all the way across. So if you want to keep your eyes like look bigger, just put a dark color, like your corner color, only in the corner of your eye. Don't go all the way across, or else it can make your eyes look smaller and whatnot. So, and then if you want to add some color, you can certainly go back with like a lighter crease color and kind of smudge that in. Then you can do like eyeliner or no eyeliner. I do my mascara before putting on my eyeshadow, just so whenever I blink, I always get mascara. It gets stuck in here. And so I kind of have to start over sometimes if I can't get it off. But anyway, so then I just go through, and sometimes I'll look up close, you know, in a mirror, and then I'll look far away just so I can see if everything looks good and even. But other than that, so I hope this was a helpful video for you for applying your eyeshadows.